Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You'll notice that I'm under the hood of our truck, and there's a big reason for that, and that is I've been doing some research on an issue with diesel trucks and automatic transmissions and pulling heavy loads. And of course we have a very large fifth wheel that weighs over 16,000 pounds fully loaded, and pulling up hills can overheat a transmission. And while I can watch the temperature of the transmission, and if I need to pull over I can, if I get in a situation where I just can't pull over and that transmission is getting a little bit warm, it's going to overheat and possibly boil over. Now if that happens, it's going to come out this dipstick tube. Now Ram supposedly has put this device right in here. It's basically a gasket as it gets warm, it's supposed to expand and prevent this from happening. But if you'll notice, there's a little gap right here, kind of hard to see, but it allows fluid to get through, and the more fluid will push on this little hat right here and push this dipstick out far enough. And then one thing that you want to look at right below the dipstick is what? Is the engine exhaust and the turbocharger. And all that fluid is going to go all over the turbocharger, and then the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to have a fire. And it'll be a major fire, and you won't be able to save the truck. And if you have the fifth wheel connected to it, you're going to lose your fifth wheel as well. So I don't want that to happen. So I found a company called ATS Diesel Products, and they manufacture this device right here. This is called their Doomsday device, and we're going to install it right now. Basically what happens is this goes over the dipstick tube. This part here, there are 2 or 3 actually set screws that tighten up around the dipstick tube, and then the dipstick goes down into here. Now you're probably wondering, well wait a minute, that's going to bring the dipstick out of the tube a little bit. Yeah, it will. But what the instructions tell me is that when I get done, the transmission level line will be in the middle instead of at the top. So when I go to measure the transmission fluid, I'll measure it full will be at the middle spot, not at the top spot. So let's go ahead and get this installed. We're going to set the dipstick tube off to the side in a nice place, and then we're going to put this in place. And then we're going to run this tube down below below the engine compartment, and we're going to zip tie it away from the exhaust. So as soon as I can feed this down there, I got to get it by everything here, including all the air conditioning and all that stuff too. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so now that that's in place, and they even provide you with an Allen wrench to tighten all this up. And maybe I can get this in here. There we go. Okay, so I got it in. It's all nice and tight. The dipstick is inserted, and if you can see that the lock here is up against the ring and prevents this from coming out. And I'm pulling on it. It really takes a lot for me to get it out. But then the fluid actually will have a better place to go down this tube and out the other tube, out the long tube. And now I'm going to go underneath, and I'm going to use some zip ties that they also provided to get this zip tied away from the exhaust. And so that the fluid can go out on the ground and away from the truck. So I'm going to do that next, and I'll show you where we're going to tie this down. Now, you're probably all thinking, well, what kind of truck does he have? Well, we have a 2019 Ram 3500 heavy duty. But this is really something for any diesel truck out there, whether you're Ford, Chevy, whatever. If they put this dipstick tube over the top of the exhaust and you have a boilover, that fluid's coming up out of the exhaust, out of this tube and all over your exhaust, and you're going to have a major fire. So I'm really grateful to ATS Diesel Performance for doing this and putting this together. And I am going to leave a link to this product down below in this subscription. Now, I'm not affiliated with ATS at all. I'm just really grateful that I found them and was able to purchase this product and get this installed in my truck, because to me it's a safety device, because I want my family protected and I don't want anything to happen to our truck or to our rig. And especially if we're on a long haul somewhere, it could be pretty devastating for us to lose everything that we had all in one shot because I didn't take proper precautions. This is a precaution that I was happy to spend the money on. So let's go down and get this thing zip tied and we'll be done. Okay, so underneath the truck, and I have routed the hose here, and I've tied a zip tie up there around a couple of wires that were coming down. Excuse me. And then also I ran the tube down under here, and let me show you where we've got it here. So as you can see, here's the tube right here, and if it does cut loose with fluid, it's going to go all under this cavity in here and stay away from this right here, which is the exhaust. You want to keep your fluid away from there. It is highly flammable when it gets that hot, and you'll have a major fire. So this, I think, is a good alternative for us, and that's pretty much it. The installation is done, and now we're pretty safe. So I want to give a big shout out to ATS Diesel Performance for making this product. Again, I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I do appreciate them doing this for all of our diesel truckers out there who are pulling big loads. You can put one of these on any Cummins or Detroit or Ford, whatever diesel truck you have, and have an automatic transmission. I think the automatic transmission, this is a great feature. So I will leave a link down below. Please add a comment. We'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this. If you've got one installed, please let us know. And please let ATS Diesel Performance know. We'll provide them a copy of this video so they know what we've done. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell so you know we're coming out with another video. And we'll see you on the road.